Hello and welcome to some helpful Canvas training videos. I hope you find them easy to follow and useful as you begin your Canvas journey. Some of the training topics covered in this series are cross-listing courses, settings and notifications, setting up modules, creating assignments, quizzes, and external URLs, setting up grading categories, copying items and modules. Let's go ahead and jump into our first video segment on cross-listing courses.
Hey guys, one of the first things I wanted to talk to you all about is something that might make your life easier, and it's called cross-listing your classes in Canvas. Basically, it's merging multiple sections of the same exact class into just one class to make it easier for you to manage. I was a little bit nervous about doing this several years ago when I first heard about it, but it actually will make your life a lot easier. The reasons being, if you're teaching the same class the same way with the same due dates and the same assignments, there's no reason to have to do that work twice. You would have to go and either create an announcement and copy it into another class, or create a quiz and then copy that into another class. This way, all of your students will get sectioned out into the same one big course shell. So think of it as merging classes, but it's called cross-listing classes in Canvas. So the way you do it, you can see here, for the spring, I have 3 unpublished courses. I have 2 sections of Spanish 2, which are the same class, and 1 section of AP. So the same thing happened for this fall semester. I have 2 sections of Spanish 4 and 1 section of a different class. So I went ahead and cross-listed or merged my 2 Spanish 4 classes together. Here's how you do it. If you scroll down to the bottom of this blue bar on the left-hand side of your main Canvas dashboard, there's an icon with a question mark that says Help. Click on that. And then you're going to click on Cross-List PowerSchool Courses. Once you click on that, it's going to open up a Google form that will kind of walk you through all the steps that you need to do. It explains again what cross-listing is. With cross-listing, you're going to choose one course to be the parent course, aka the main course, and then the other sections of that same course as the child courses. The child courses get merged into one big parent course. There's a video you can watch, some considerations to make, and then you'll actually have to go through and click these acknowledgements, understanding that you need to cross-list before the students start in the course. So this is something you'll want to do during the work days or now before students come. You'll have to click next on the form. I'm not going to because I've already cross-listed my courses. But one of the main things that you need to do is, again, pick out a parent course, your main course, that is going to be all the courses merged into one, and your child courses that will be merged into the parent course. All right, on the next page of this Google form, it's going to ask you, what is the course number for the parent course and what is the course number for the child course? And the way you find that is by clicking on one of your courses. And you see up at the top where the web address is, it'll always say wcpss.instructure.com/courses and then some digits. Those are the digits that you're going to need to put on that Google form to tell which one course is your parent course and which 1 or 2 or 3 or more courses are the children courses that need to be merged into that. So hopefully this information helps. I definitely find the cross-listing to be very beneficial.
In this next video segment, we will learn how to change the settings in Canvas to best benefit students and teachers. Let's get started.
Hey guys, back again with some more information about how to get your Canvas courses started. So again, if you go to the Wake ID portal and click on the Canvas icon, it's going to open up all of your published and unpublished courses. Now, if you happen to do a little bit in Canvas last year, just trying to get ready for this year of using Canvas, and you think, I don't really want to dig up that information and repost it again. Where can I find it? If you click on courses over here on the left and then all courses, it will list your current courses and then all past courses under past enrollments. You can see what the course name was, if you happen to nickname it anything, and what teaching term that was during. So you can click on any of these courses going back as far as what you have them. For example, I have something from 2015, so I could easily click into that course and copy and paste things over. So let me go back to my dashboard, which is going to show me my current courses. So I'm going to use my Spanish 2 course as an example, and I will also show you guys how you can get just from a plain color that was already assigned to you to inserting a picture in the background here. But first things first, let's go ahead and click into my course, and you'll see that I've created custom buttons for my modules. You definitely do not have to do that. I would stick with something simple to first start off, but I just happen to create custom buttons for my modules that will take the students directly to those modules. All right, what you will have will look something like a template that you'll have to fill in. All right, so you will have a template here that Wake County has already provided for you, and you can go and change those things. I'm going to go to one of my unpublished courses so you guys can see. All right, so you see here, it's got information about clicking here, delete this text, add your name here. You can replace this image with your own photo. If you don't like this, like I just didn't care for the way it looked, you can totally erase it and start from scratch. But the easiest way to start doing anything, whether you're starting from scratch or using this template, is to click the pencil edit button. All right, you can change the title of the page. Like I think I changed it to something like Welcome to Spanish Class. All right, you can literally just click, delete, add anything in there that you want to. If you don't like these buttons, you can erase them as well too. Just remember anytime you're changing anything to scroll down to the bottom and click the Save button. So that's the first thing I would personally start with here. One of the other things I want to point out as you're just kind of started getting used to Canvas and looking at it to see how you can edit it are all these things that you have here on the left-hand side of the page. You've got things like home, announcements, modules, grades. It's totally up to you which ones of these you want to leave visible to you and students and which ones you kind of want to hide. So if you see this eyeball little icon next to them, it either means one, that there's no content, or two, that you've hidden them from student view. All right, so let me show you how we are going to edit those. So if you scroll down all the way to the bottom here on settings and click on settings, this is where you can do the hiding and making things visible to students. Now, I showed you guys a few minutes ago that I have sort of a course image for some of mine instead of just a solid color. If you wanted to change that, you would click on that change image, and you can either drag and drop or click to wherever an image is stored on your computer that you want to have there. All right, these are pretty much just basic account settings. I wouldn't really mess with anything there, but I would, however, click on more options. All right, this is where you can change the number of recent announcements showed on your course homepage. You can choose to do things like let students attach files to the discussion, let them edit or delete their own. I actually unclick those because I don't want students messing with any discussions that I have. And just make sure anything that you change, click on update course details there. Now, you can also go to sections here. You can go to navigation. Navigation is where you're going to hide or make things visible to students here. And you do that simply by dragging and dropping things from the top section to the bottom. Just as easily you could drag something from the bottom to the top, and that either makes it visible or not visible to students. Hope this helped.
In this next video segment, we will learn how to change the notification settings in Canvas and how to create a module. Let's begin.
Hey guys, so we've already explored a couple of different things to help you get started here in Canvas. The next thing that I would point out is that you can change your settings as a teacher as well under the settings link on the left-hand side of your screen. The students can do this as well too. So if you click under feature options in the tab at the top, you can see whether or not you have these features turned on or turned off by whether or not there's an X button to make it disabled or a check button to turn it on. So this will probably be something that you'll just want to leave as it is for now until you get a little bit more comfortable with Canvas. But I just kind of wanted to point that out as an extra thing in settings. If you click under your account on the left-hand side, you can put a picture there or not. If you click on account and then settings there, this is going to have a whole bunch of other settings that you can mess with. I would suggest clicking on notifications once you get to your settings, and this will be the thing that you'll really want to set up to make sure that you are either getting notifications from Canvas if you want them, or that you're not getting them if it drives you crazy and it's clogging up your email inbox. All right, so You can do things like have weekly summaries of due dates. You can have notifications turned on. For example, I have notifications turned on for things like grading. When a student submits something, I have notifications turned on, things like that. So it has it broken into sections like discussions, conversations, scheduling, course activities like grading policies, due dates, all that sort of thing. So this might be something you'll want to explore after you kind of get a little bit more used to Canvas these first couple weeks of school. All right, let me go back to my course, the one I was looking at. So, okay, we've already gotten started. We have edited our template. We have our main page looking like how we want it to look. So next thing is kind of how are you going to set up your Canvas? So the first thing I'm going to do is click on the left and click on modules. So there are also some templates set up here that Wake County put for you under templates. You can either leave this module or delete this module. If you want to just simply collapse it, if you want it there but you just don't want it visible, just click this little triangle next to template. So what I'm going to do is show you guys how to add a new module on Canvas. So if you look at the top, there is a blue button that has a plus by it and it says module. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to name it something that corresponds to my class, for example, Unit 1, and click Add Module. So now we have our Unit 1 there, but notice this is not published, all right? As soon as you want to publish a module or publish the module in all items, you're going to have to click on one of those. So I'm just going to leave that alone for now. How you're going to add information into your module is by clicking on this plus sign next to the new module that you created. So there are different things that you can add into modules. There are assignments where students will submit through Canvas, quizzes. There are files that you can upload. You can create pages. You can create a discussion thread. You can have a text header, which is I would definitely suggest to use to kind of separate things within your modules, especially if you know your modules will be long. You can put an external URL in there or an external tool. I'm going to just show you first what a text header looks like. So I'm going to put a text header here under the title of notes, and I'll just click add. So you can see it just kind of adds a little placeholder for notes, and then I can use all that space underneath that header of notes to add more information. So for example, I'm going to hit the plus button again. And I'm going to add a file because I already have a file created of my notes that I want. All right, I'm just going to choose something random here. So I am going to choose, I'm just going to upload something from my files here. So I've chosen my fake notes file here, and I am going to click add item. So now you can see that you have this item added underneath your notes section. Now, if you want to kind of have more separation between those two, on any item that you add, you can always click on the three dots to the right, and you can increase the indent. I just kind of like to do that. I think it looks neater to have the header all the way over to the left and the items underneath kind of indented a bit. But that's totally up to you. All right, let's try to add a different type of assignment in our next video. And in the next video, we will actually add not a file, but an.
In this next video segment, we will learn how to create assignments. Let's go.
Hey guys, so I'm just going to really quickly show you how to add an assignment once you've gotten a module created. So in order to do that, I'm going to go back to my Unit 1 module. I'm going to click on the plus sign out to the right. And in the drop-down menu, you're going to click Assignment. All right, you're going to click Create Assignment, give it a name. You can either choose to indent or not to indent from here, but you can always indent later. And you're going to click Add Item. So from here now, after it pops me back out to my modules, once I've created an assignment, you'll see that the assignment icon is always the little piece of paper with the pencil. Let's click on the name of the assignment because right now it's blank. There's nothing in there, no directions, no actual assignment. So then it takes you to this screen. You're going to click on Edit up here at the top right. And then in our next video segment, I'm going to teach you guys how to put assignment directions and add the assignment directly in here, as well as when you scroll down to the bottom, give it points, tell it which assignment group to go in, change the file submission type, put a due date. If you want to put available from and until, you can do that as well too. Hey guys, so we left off with adding an assignment into our module. So if we go back for a second, I'm just going to go back into my module to make sure that we're all on the same page. We had added a practice assignment. Now we need to learn how to edit that practice assignment so that we actually have directions, a due date, and the assignment in there. So to do that, I'm going to click on the practice assignment title. You see, it's completely blank. So in order to edit that, you're going to have to click the edit button, right? You can type your directions in here, right? And then there's a couple of different ways you can add your assignment. Probably the most likely will be to add it from your Google Drive. So if you click on the icon for Google Drive, you can click select file, select any file that you want that's the assignment. I'm just going to click something random in here and attach it. All right, so you'll see whatever your assignment would be will be here. Sorry, this is like giant sized here. So say this was my assignment and my students had to, read through this and answer some questions that were in there as well too. That would be all I would need. You can also click on this icon here if you want to hyperlink something in there that you have already. If you don't prefer doing it through your Google Drive, you can directly add YouTube videos in there. So this is I already have my assignment directions. The students already know what they need to do. Now we need to fill in this information at the bottom. So you need to decide how many points it's going to be out of. I usually do it for 100 just to make it easy. Once you've set up your gradebook, you could choose from different assignment groups. So say on your syllabus, you have tests, quizzes, classwork, homework. So I could set that up under whatever assignment I want. You can have it choose to display in points or percentages. I just usually let it default here in the points. And under submission type, if you click no submission, if that's left as it is, the students won't be able to submit anything. So you have to choose online. And then there's a bunch of different options. You can click all of them, you can click none of them. It really just depends what you're going to do. I usually always click text entry, website URL, and file uploads. If you want to restrict the type of file uploads, you can click on that too. You can choose here under the number of allowed attempts, whether they have unlimited or limited. If you click limited, you can change the number of attempts that they have. So let's just say I'll give them 2 attempts on this one. You can click if it's a group assignment. You can click if it requires peer reviews. And then I'm not quite sure about how this is going to work this year because I believe they're planning on syncing Canvas directly to PowerSchools, but for now I'm just going to leave that blank. So you definitely want this to be assigned to everybody. You want to put a due date in here, so say it's due Friday. I'll click Friday. You can type in a time. I usually say before midnight. And if you want to restrict when it's available from and when it's available until, you can enter dates in there too. And then you want to click save. Unless if you're ready to publish it, you can click save and publish as well too. This is going to make me choose a due date for when we're back in school. So I'll just say it's due August 31st at midnight. Actually, and this is not going to let me publish this because I am in a course that is for spring semester. So let me see if I can put something in for January, if it will let me, or February. Okay, now it's letting me. So now you can see, okay, here are my assignment directions. Here's the assignment itself. The students have to, whatever, answer questions, and then they're going to submit it. So if we click back out into modules, we will see our practice assignment there, the number of points, and now we have our new due date. Okay, again, if you want to click on the 3 dots to the right of the assignment, which it's not letting me do right now, you can increase the indent if you wanted to keep that under that same notes heading. Let's explore now how to add a quiz. All right, I'll upload this in a new video, but we will explore next how to create a quiz in Canvas.
In this next video segment, we will learn how to add quizzes and external URLs. Let's begin.
Hey guys, so last video we learned how to put an assignment into a module in Canvas. Now we are going to learn about quizzes. So I'm going to go to my same modules here, my practice module, which is Unit 1, click on the plus button. And in the drop-down menu, I'm going to click to add a quiz to Unit 1. So you can click Create Quiz, and then you see you have 2 options, new quizzes and classic quizzes. New quizzes do have a few more features that classic quizzes do not. However, I have found in my experience that new quizzes do not come directly to your grading inbox. So for that reason, I prefer classic quizzes. So today I'm going to show you classic quizzes. We're going to click on that, and I am going to click and type a practice quiz for the name. Okay, again, you can choose what group it goes under once you set your gradebook up, whether it's tests, quizzes, projects, homework, whatever it is. If you want to indent it here, you can. Otherwise, you can do that later with the three dots. And we're going to click Add Item. So just like our assignment, this is basically just a shell of a quiz here. You see there's no due date, there's no number of points. So you're going to have to click into the practice quiz title itself to do some editing. So we're going to click on the edit button here at the top right to edit this quiz. And this is where you would type your quiz directions. Okay, whatever you want to say. If you look at the bottom, there are some options about what kind of quiz it is. I usually just leave it on graded quiz, but you can click on some other options there if you want. You can choose to shuffle the answers, which I usually do. If you want to put a time limit on it, you can. If you want to click in the box to allow multiple attempts, I suggest keeping the highest score. And you can type in here how many attempts you want to have. So I'm going to say this quiz has 3 attempts. There's a box that automatically is checked that says let students see their quiz responses. If you're giving them multiple attempts, I would definitely suggest to leave that on, but to unclick this button that lets students see the correct answers. Otherwise, they're going to cheat. If you want them to show one question at a time, you can. I've found in my experience that the students get frustrated with that, so I just leave it. And then how you know where to put your actual quiz. I'm just going to save this real quick because I get nervous about losing things. So I'm going to save it, go back into edit. If you look at the tabs across the top, there's the details, there's questions, and there's mastery paths. So you want to click on questions, and you are going to add a new question. All right, so here's where you can toggle between what type of question you want. You have options for multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank, fill in multiple blanks, all these other ones here. Okay, I'm just going to start with a few that are very easy to insert. So I'm going to do multiple choice first. Over here, if you wanted the question to be worth a different amount of points, you can change it. So let's see. I'm going to choose the correct cognate for test in Spanish. That's going to be my multiple choice question. All right, so you'll see it already has defaulted here with the correct answer and a green arrow. So that's where you're going to type in your correct answer. And then you can type in however many other false answers you want. I'm just going to type in some random words here. And let's say I only want them to have 3 answer choices. So I'm just going to click on the trash can to delete this pre-filled possible answer in there. And then make sure you click on update question. Okay, so if you want to go and add another question, click on that. This time I'm going to add a true false question. All right, so there's my true false question. All right, I am going to, oops, I forgot to say is. All right, that is true. All right, but if you wanted to change the answer to false, you could just as easily click on that for the right answer. Again, I'm going to click on update question. Hey guys, so we're continuing on with quizzes. I accidentally cut the video off last time, and I wanted to insert one more question with a different question type. So I'm going to go back and walk you guys back to the beginning. Again, I'm clicking on the practice quiz. I'm clicking on edit. And I'm clicking on the questions tab here. So I have 2 questions already. One's a true false and one's a multiple choice. I'm going to click to add a fill in the blank. I'm going to type in my question. And I just like to put a blank there so the students know what they're filling in the blank for. So you can type in multiple possible answers. If, for example, you're worried about Canvas being fussy with capitalization, or if they need an accent mark, but you don't want to count the question wrong if they have everything else right without the accent mark. It's up to you. I usually only type in 1 or 2 possible answers. So say a student says South America, right? You might also want to type in South America with no capitals. Um, and that's about it. And if you want to trash the number of possible answers to get rid of those and then click update question, you can. So let's say this is my quiz. All right, let's pretend it has more than 3 questions. I'm going to either save or save and publish that quiz. All right, but we see we still haven't put a due date in here. So you can do that while you were in the quiz. You go back if you forget and click on edit. And when we were clicking all the different things like what category it's going into, how many attempts they have, I forgot to show you to scroll down. The due date thing is always at the bottom of any assignment, whether it's a quiz or whether it's an assignment. So I am going to, again, this is a class that I have for spring semester. I'm just going to put a fake date in here for February. You can put a time, you can change that time if you want to, and if you want to restrict it from being available from Students View, and if you want to take it away from Students View, you can put that date under until, and you click save. So now when I go back out to my modules, I will see, oh yeah, there's my practice quiz. It's due on February 14th. It's worth 7 points total. One of the other things I'm going to show you guys how to do is to add a different type of items. We've done assignments, we've done quizzes, we've done files. I'm going to show you what to do with page. Now, it's totally up to you how you want to organize your modules, but I like to have a page, and you're going to click on Create Page, for some of my different subheadings like vocabulary, grammar, culture. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. So here is a page, okay? Let's say, I wanted this page. And by the way, you saw what I did. I just clicked and grabbed and dragged things. You can drag things in any order you want to. So now I have a page for my vocabulary. I'm going to click onto the page, and you can see there's nothing here. What you have to do is click edit, and then you can type whatever you want in here. So for example, for my classes for vocabulary, I will say, please find the Quizlet cards here. All right. So what I will do here is I will go into my Quizlet class. I will find the set of Quizlet flashcards I want. So let me go do that real quick. I'm going to go to Quizlet. And let's say, okay, I'm just going to add this set just because. So I am going to copy the link. I'm going to go back to my class. And for the words here, sometimes I bold them, sometimes I capitalize them, just to let students know, hey, like there's a link here. So you see what I did was I clicked on this little link symbol, and you want to click on external link because we're linking it to something outside of the class. I'm going to paste in my Quizlet flashcards. Sometimes I even highlight that to let students know extra for sure, hey, there's a link here that you can click on. All right, you can put anything else you want in here too. You can say, please find the fan fold here. All right, so now I am going to link it to something that is in my Google Drive. So I'm just going to click on the Google Drive symbol. Again, I'm not going to actually link the fan fold. I'm just going to click on something totally random. And there we go. All right, well, it's not letting me add something there, but in any case, that is how you will do it. And your fan fold would be linked there. You could also, if you prefer, if the Google Drive is giving you trouble, you can go directly to your Google Drive, like get out of Canvas, open up your Google Drive, and then you could just get the link and add the link there. So again, whatever you want to put on this page. Sometimes I directly embed Google Drive presentations here. If I had like a Google Drive presentation for a vocab theme or topic we were doing, whatever you want to do. These options at the bottom, you probably just want to leave it alone. I don't think you want anybody being able to edit your page. And so you will just hit save or save and publish. And now you can see that there's information there in your page. All right, I'm going to go back to modules. So now we've added a file, we've added an assignment, we've added a quiz, we've done a header, we've done a page.
In this video segment, we will learn how to copy individual items or entire modules from one class to another with ease. Let's get started.
Hey guys, so quickly I'm just going to show you how to copy course content from one course into another. The reason that you would do this is if you have, for example, semester to semester or year to year, the same class, and you don't want to recreate the whole thing from scratch. Now, just a word of warning, you can't copy over things like I believe files and external URLs, but you can definitely do entire modules to kind of get around that. You can do single items as long as they're quizzes or assignments. So first things first, let's go ahead and click on the left on courses because I'm going to have to select all courses to find my past course that I want to select something from. So I'm just going to select a random class. Here's a class from 2020, 2021. I'm going to navigate to modules and find the item that I want to copy over. So let's say the first time I just want to copy over this assignment, this Quizlet Learn assignment, because I really liked it, not the whole unit. So next to the assignment on the three dots to the right, you're going to click on copy to, and then it's going to ask, hey, where do you want to copy this thing to? So I'm going to click one of my new courses to copy it to. And you can even take it a few steps further and tell it exactly where in that module in your new course you want to copy it to. So I'm going to put it in my unit 1, and I'm going to choose it at the bottom at that unit, just so it's easy to see. Click copy. And you get a message saying if the copy operation has started successfully. And it's pretty quick copying over single items, but don't get freaked out if you're trying to copy over an entire unit and you don't see it there instantaneously in your new class. You might have to refresh a few times or wait a few minutes. So while I'm already here on the old class that I want to copy something from, I'm going to copy this entire unit, Desafíos Mundiales. So next to the unit name, I'm going to click on those three dots. I'm going to click copy to, and I'm going to tell it which course to copy it to. That's the only options you have. Click copy, and you can see it has started successfully. Let's double check that they've made it into my new course. So I'm going to click on courses. I'm going to go to the course that I copied these items into. I'm going to click on modules again. And I see, whoop, there's that assignment right at the bottom of my unit 1 that I told it to add. And here's the entire unit that I told it to add. Now, once you get an entire unit in there, if you're like, I didn't really want all this stuff in there, you can always click to the right of an assignment and then select remove to delete an item from that entire module if you don't want it there. So I hope this was something useful for you that you feel like you can use from semester to semester or year to year to copy information from one class into another.
Now we will learn how to set up your grading categories in Canvas so that all of your grades calculate correctly. Let's begin.
Hey guys, so first things first, you need to make sure that you've set up your gradebook before you are actually having the students do any assignments. So you have to set up your gradebook in Canvas similar to how we set it up in Power Schools. So you want to make sure you have the exact same categories and percentages that you do from your syllabus that you go over with your students. So like class projects, tests, quizzes, homework, and the percentages associated with those. Now, just a word of caution, in the past, we've had to manually sync Canvas to Power Schools if you choose to. You don't have to. I don't know if Wake County is going to make that automated this year. So in any case, you have to set up some sort of categories. Otherwise, your gradebook is going to be chaotic. You won't have the choice of selecting a specific assignment as a quiz or a test or a project or whatever. So first things first, go to your course that you want to set up. And I know it seems like you should be clicking on grades, but that just takes you to the grade book. What you need to click on the left is assignments. All right, so here you're going to see any kind of assignment categories that you already might have set up. It might not have anything since you're just setting up your class. But what you need to do is click on the plus button next to group, and that's going to add an assignment group, basically a category for grading. So you're going to put in your categories, for example, like tests, and keep doing that. Whatever categories you have. Quizzes, I'm going to put in. Oops. And then I'm going to put in classwork and homework because that's what I have for Spanish too. All right, so once you finish adding your assignment groups, let me close up some of this extra stuff. You're going to see that you have those there. So I added tests, quizzes, classwork, and homework. But what we need to do now is tell what the weight is for each of those groups. So you're going to click at the top right. There's those 3 vertical buttons. And you're going to click on assignment groups weights. All right, click that button that says weight final grade based on assignment groups. I'm just going to ignore those other ones that are kind of already in there. And I'm going to do 40, 30, 20, 10 because that's what we have, and click Save. So now you can see my category weights are set up completely correctly. All right. If you happen to have something here that you don't want, you can, like, for example, assignment templates. I don't need that because I don't need a template for my assignments. I can click on the three dots, click on delete. But just recognize that deleting any of those deletes any assignments you already have in it. So if you want to, you can move its assignments to a certain group. All right. Again, I'm just going to delete mine because I know I don't need those. And then now I can see I have my 40, 30, 20, 10 with my assignments there. So just make sure anytime you're creating an assignment, so for example, I'm going to go back to my modules. I'm going to go to something that I say is maybe a homework assignment. Oops, hold on. I didn't go to an assignment. Just kidding. So if I go to, for example, I think I deleted an assignment on accident, but if I had an assignment, you want to click on it and you'll want to click on edit. This is just a page that's not going to show. But for any assignment you do, it's going to ask in a drop down at the bottom here, which group you want that to fit under. And in the drop down, you should see the categories you created, like classwork, homework, test, quiz, projects. Just always make sure you add it to a category. Otherwise, your gradebook's going to get a little bit wonky. Hope this helped.
Congratulations! You are now familiar with the basics of Canvas. Have fun exploring on your own.